All right, so we're on to Earth composition. This was the second unit we did this year. Earth is composed mostly of rock and contains the following layers. You should know that there is the crust, the mantle, the outer core, the inner core. The crust, and we say upper mantle, is made of moving plates. Together, these form the lithosphere on which we live. Yes, there's a spot for you to write this down. Mantle is the middle part of Earth's interior, where convection occurs due to the heat in the Earth's core. So remember, the core is very, very, very hot. The inner core is actually hotter than the surface of the sun. And it heats up. So right here, you're starting to heat. This is the outer core. Starts heating up the magma. The magma then rises and will hit those plates, and they cause them to move. The outer core is extremely hot, dense, meaning tightly packed, liquid portion of Earth composed of nickel and iron. It's nickel and iron. It surrounds the inner core. The inner core is hot, dense, solid because of all the pressure. It's being pressed on by all sides. And just like if you do that with you have mud and water, it makes a mud ball. It's what's happening to the solid center of our Earth. Because it is solid iron, nickel, which are metals, it contributes to the magnetic force field. There are 3 classifications of Earth's rocks. Okay, guys, this is, again, a spot for you to take notes. You put the notes, a dash, and write it down. It doesn't have a box like this, but it does have a spot. Sand, mud, sedimentary is sand, mud, or collected sediments that is deposited and turned into rock. So it rains, little pieces come down to the bottom of the hill, rains again, and it keeps compressing and packing over many, many years. Example is limestone or shale. Igneous is magma or lava that has cooled and solidified. Igneous comes from volcanoes. The magma is inside the earth, the lava is outside the earth. And if it cools down and becomes rock, we call it igneous rock. It usually has holes in it from where air was, pockets. Example is granite and basalt. Metamorphic. Morph means to change. Metamorph is to change. Sedimentary or igneous rock placed under extreme heat and pressure. So you have those 2 different types of rocks. You add some more heat, you add pressure pushing on it, and it can change. So we make marble from limestone. Marble's really pretty, expensive. Limestone is just kind of gross, actually. It's like gray rock. But it becomes something very pretty once you add the heat and the pressure. The rock cycle recycles materials from one rock as it weathers or changes into another. It is a continuous cycle. They continuously move. And you have a picture of that. Your picture is the tiny one, probably. But basically what it's saying is that one rock can become all the other types of rock, whether it's being broken down or if you're adding heat and pressure or if it's cooling and solidifying. And that's how they can become, it can go this way or it can go this way, but they can all become another type of rock, and they all do. They constantly are changing. Plate tectonics is the study of movements and y'all, I don't like this thing. Well, let me move. Okay, there we go. The study of movements and effects on Earth's crustal plates. So remember, it's only been since like the 50s that we even know, okay, wait, plates are moving, y'all. Like something's happening. And so the study, we call it plate tectonics. The lithospheric plate, remember, lithosphere is where we live. La, not Al. Al is not there. Lithosphere, and then the asthenosphere. Lithospheric plates are constantly moving. How much? They're only actually moving a few centimeters or inches each year, so not very much. But the boundaries and faults contribute to volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and the formation of mountains. The lithospheric plates are about 5 to 100 kilometers thick. 5 is about 3 miles. Okay. And what areas of the thinnest is in the ocean? So the ocean has a lot of water, but the crust underneath is actually the thinnest. That's where you're going to get that 3-4 miles thick. Earthquakes occur when 2 plates move past each other at a fault, causing vibrations. So they're moving, they're trying to slide like this, and they're pushing and they're pushing and they're pushing and they're pushing and pushing, and finally just a little bit gives and it releases vibrations in all directions. They move in the form of waves. There are 3 types of waves that come from a earthquake. You have a P wave, or the primary wave. They're longitudinal and they're the fastest. They're the wave, they're traveling through the air like this, or through the ground like this, and they're the fastest. S waves, or secondary waves, they're transverse. They're going like this, and they can't travel in liquids. Okay. Surface waves. On the surface, these are the most damaging, and they are the slowest waves that come from an earthquake. Okay, I just wrote these notes in the note section, as you can see here. There we go. Okay. Convergent boundaries is when the mantle causes to move together. So the plates are coming, the convection, and they're going like this again slowly. That's why they say Mount Everest is still growing, because the plates are still pushing together. So I just have the 2 arrows coming together, and I tell you that they form mountains, island chains, and trenches. Mountains, island chains, and trenches. Convergent. Remember, there's 2 types of convergent boundaries. There's convergent subduction and convergent. Convergent subduction is when it's going to go underneath like this, and you get a valley here, and you get volcanoes back here, because it is being melted into the other plate underneath, allowing the volcanoes to form. If it's just coming together, so a continental crust meeting continental crust, there it goes up. Continental crust, oceanic crust, ocean goes under and melts into the layer below. Divergent. They diverge when the mantle causes the lithospheric plates to move apart, and they create ridges or trenches. Transform is when the plates move past each other. They create faults and earthquakes. Again, I just put a little picture and reminded what do they make. Volcano, remember, inside is magma chamber. This is where the cenosphere, you're getting, comes up, it will explode. You get lava coming down. You can get a landslide. Pyroclastic flow is that hot gas ash that comes and it can kill a lot of people. How is soil important to living organisms? Notice that it comes from bedrock, and you have the different types of soil. Again, I just put this in my note section here. Okay, I said soil, it provides a variety of nutrients, home to many organisms, and it provides a place for plants to grow. Different things live there, like bacteria, insects, and worms. Soil forms through the weathering of Earth's rock, which then mixes with other components. Weathering means breaking down of rock. It mixes with other things. We have 4 types of soil we talk about: clay, sand, loam, and silt. Clay does not hold water, or clay does not allow water to go through very well. Sand does not hold water. Loam and silt are the best, with silt being the very best. Different things that affect it. Silt is a mixture of all 3. What may affect soil is erosion. How much is it being washed away? The location, pH level. Is it acidic? Is it basic? What do you need to grow there? Like, orange trees grow in Florida. I've never seen an orange tree here, but I've also never seen them in Ohio. We don't have the type of soil for them to grow. And then things surrounding them. What is around them that is affecting the soil? Okay. So we've talked about 3 main things. You have soil, you have plate tectonics, and you have the layers of the earth that you're expected to know for Earth's composition. Any questions? Be prepared to ask. Have a good one.